had Caribbean accents because that's all we were around. You know, my family, and so we got teased because we had Caribbean accents heavily. And my brother, we just talked about it this year that we both.
And your family came from Guyana, right?
Yeah, we purposely got rid of our Guyanese accent because of that, because we were ostracized.
But you had a Caribbean accent even if you were born in New York.
Right, because my mother's family, everybody, that's all we were around. Mm-hmm. And then we were in Guyana for like when I was 2 years old to like 4, I was in Guyana for a short time. So when we came back, we started school, all Caribbean schools in Brooklyn, which were, and so they followed all the Caribbean everything.
And you all went to the same school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. And they had corporal punishment?
Corporal punishment, bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
But they had rulers or straps?
They had both. We used to call it katai.
I see that name.
Katai, wow.
Katai.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh, that's from Cat o' Nine Tails. That's the old British Navy thing, Cat o' Nine Tails. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know where it come from. Katai, man, getting licks.
So Charles, so when you left Bed-Stuy, you graduated from Bed-Stuy. Where did you go to college?
I went to Lehman College.
And what did you study there?
Biochemistry.
Okay, and that's where you met the famous Dominican Judy Sims. Judy, you went to Bed-Stuy?
Charles, we've been good buddies.
Yeah, but you went to Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy? No, I went to Lehman College.
Lehman College. What did you study?
Computer science.
Outstanding. But before that, you went to Goodwill School in Dominica.
Yes.
What did people tell you about your Caribbean accent when you went to school in America?
To me, I never got any feedback on that.
Yes.
Well, I never worry what people say, so this is not to do with it.
Yes, indeed. And here we have Josette. Josette, we went to Goodwill School together, Josette.
Yes.
And then did you go to Lehman College too?
No, I went to Queen's College in Flushing.
And what did you study?
Accounting, actually.
Outstanding. And you went on and became a famous professor. And you became, I know, but you became a teacher too, Joseph.
Well, teaching is my calling. I was in corporate America.
Yes.
And I did good, but I just.
Judy told me on 911 you're right next to the building.
7 World Trade Center, yeah.
Tell me about that.
I was in my office. Mm-hmm. I used to go early because I had to leave early because I had to relieve my babysitter. Mm-hmm. So at 5 o'clock I was gone.
That was Malcolm at the time?
It was actually Jada at that particular time, coming from school. So yeah, I was in my office early. And
when you say early, 7 a.m.? I
was in my office by 7:40. Around that time I would get in. And it was around 7:50 when the first plane hit. Yeah. And I just felt like that surge of energy. It made a noise like shh. I was like, what was that? And I just got up and I looked out of the window and I saw the top of the tower, the top of the tower burning.
Yeah, and you're working for which company at the time?
Sullivan Smith Barney.
Sullivan Smith Barney.
Downtown Manhattan.
Is that Smith Barney that says we don't? How do I say it again? We don't earn it. We something like that. Anyway, Smith Barney. So did you stay in your office or you walked
What?
out?
No, I ran out.
Okay, so.
And then actually I ran out and there was another guy who was there too. It was just about 3 or 4 of us that were there that early. Most people came at 9. We were there really super early. And he said something about fire or something. I already saw it. So we ran out. We ran out and then somebody hit the elevator and I was like, I said, we're taking the stairs.
What floor were you on?
I was on the 28th floor.
28th floor.
So
and you're taking the stairs?
We took the stairs and we went down the stairs. And when we were standing in the lobby and they wouldn't let people out. They were not letting people out. They were trying to figure out what happened. I was standing in the lobby when the second plane hit.
Wow.
So I literally saw part of the fuselage of the second fell in that, that little path that
courtyard,
between 7 World Trade Center and the top towers, like part of it fell right there.
That's
when people went crazy. People went really crazy. When we were going down the stairs, I should say, people were saying, oh, an accident, a small plane went into the tower. But what I didn't tell you before is that when I looked out of my window and I saw the top burning, I heard a voice clearly, and I knew that was the Holy Spirit said to me, terrorists, get out.
Wow.
As clear as that.
Clear as that.
I heard it. And I had gone. So when we were in the lobby of 7 World Trade Center, that's when people went crazy, because that's when people realized that it's something. Because before that, they thought it was an accident. I knew it wasn't, but. So people. So at that point is when they really stopped people. Yeah, I got that wrong. That is when they stopped people from leaving the building and people trying to get out.
Okay.
And then, what happened after that? Oh yes, my phone. People's cell phone wasn't working. My phone was working. A couple of people's phones was working, and so my phone was being passed around for people to call. I called my home.
You spoke to Judy?
Yes, I think so. Yes. And my mom, I think, was up here. I called her. Yeah. And then we got out. We ran out and we were just running. And one of the people I spoke to was Pato. Pato was working downtown Manhattan, Patrick Shillingford.
Yes.
And we called and we decided that we were going to meet somewhere uptown.
Yes.
And we literally walked all the way uptown.
Wow. So when you left the building, had these towers fallen yet?
The towers hadn't fallen. So whilst we were walking, we heard this song, this tremendous song. I don't really know how to describe it. And then we turned around and the tower, that's when the tower fell, dust all over the place.
Wow. What did you think at that time?
Some people mentioned Osama. Somebody who was around me said Osama. That they pretty sure it was Osama.
Osama bin Laden.
Oh yes, and I remember thinking, well, when they said that, I said, well, it's going to be war.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I thought, it's going to be war. America's going to retaliate, and it's going to be a war. I remember thinking that, and then I kept walking.
And there are a lot of, what would you say was the mood of people? Were they running, crying?
Yeah, people were scared. People were crying. People were crazy. And there was this guy. I will never forget this guy. He had a briefcase, and he's trying. Everybody moving away from the towers. He trying to get to the towers. He said, "I have to go. I have an appointment. I have a job interview." I'm like, "Where? Where are you gonna have the job interview?"
Jesus.
They were trying to explain to him that he couldn't keep going. That there was that one of the towers had already fallen by the time. He said, "I have a job interview."
Jesus.
I'll never forget that.
Yes.
It was so surreal.
How did you get home that day?
Yeah, that's the other. Judy, I had spoken to Judy at that time. Patrick and I, so I was with Patrick, and we were looking for somebody to take us across the bridge, but people had said the bridge was closed. But
And when you say the bridge, you mean Brooklyn Bridge?
No, that was Brooklyn Bridge. What bridge was that?
George Washington.
Yes, GW. And for some reason, we got this cab driver that promised that said he'll take us as far as he can take us. And I don't know how we got across the bridge. I can't remember all of that. That's kind of murky because they said they had closed the bridge. But the cab driver took Patrick and I.
I met you guys in Fort Lee in New Jersey, I think.
That's where
you
we
guys
met?
got. I think you got across the bridge somehow.
I got across the bridge somehow, and then Judy came to pick us up.
You probably walked across the bridge. Did you guys?
I didn't walk across the bridge. That's what people say. But how could you have driven across the bridge? The bridge was closed. I don't know how.
Well, there's a walkway on the bridge.
No, we didn't walk. I mean, a cab. I mean, a cab took us. I don't remember exactly, but I know Patrick was with me, so I have a witness.
Yes.
Patrick and I were in the cab, and we were driven across the bridge, and he dropped us off somewhere, and then Judy came to pick us up. That part is very murky.
Would you say that was the most dramatic incident in your entire life?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, frightening.
Absolutely.
Did your building ultimately collapse?
Our building collapsed.
My goodness.
Our building.
So had you stayed there, you could have died.
Of course, I mean. Yeah, of
So
course.
how many buildings collapsed? The two towers collapsed, and
The
number
two towers
7.
collapsed. Number 7 also went down.
Number 7 was the first one.
No. Number 7 wasn't the first. Number 7 actually was the third. The second, the tallest one is the one that Fitzroy was in, went on second.
Yes.
I don't remember.
And when you say Fitzroy, it's in Drew.
The Tower 2. Tower 2 went first, then Tower 1. Fitzroy was in Tower 1. That went next, second. And then 07 World Trade Center went after that.
And that's our friend from St. Mary's Academy, Fitzroy St.
Yes.
Rose, from Dominica.
Fitzroy.
And you're Josette Lestrade when I knew you, but Josette Sims now.
Yes.
And we were at the Goodwill School in 72 in common entrance class, right? Is that right, Joseph?
That is correct.
And you're the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Stafford Lestrade.
Right.
And what is your mom's name, by the way?
Dorothy.
And Stafford was in World War II in the British Army with my dad.
Yes, he was.
Amazing. And he was a mayor of Roseau as well.
Yes, I have some pictures with you and with my dad and your dad, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
You know, those are interesting days, you know, but I remember talking to Judy and Paul after the event. Let me ask Judy. Judy, where were you that day?
Where was I? I guess I was home. I guess I worked nights then. So
Oh,
I was home.
Yes, that's
So
right.
in Clark.
You were in Westchester already?
Yeah, up in Rockland.
Good in Rockland already.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what was the first time you knew that there was a tower being hit by a plane?
I'm trying to think. When was the first time? Was I home? Oh, I was driving to. No, I wasn't home. I think I might have been driving because I was working in New
No,
Jersey.
you were not home. The
I was
babysitter
home,
was
yeah.
home.
I was
Because
home.
she's the one I had spoken
because
to. After
on
I
my
spoke to you.
way to work, someone called me and said a plane ran into the World Trade. Yeah, I was driving down to New Jersey. I worked for that.
So did
What year
you
is that?
turn back? That's 2001.
2001.
No, actually, I went to the job, and then they had a NOC, which is a network operation center.
At that time, you were
And
doing IT for Nortel.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of IT stuff, and they brought it up on the screens, and then everyone is talking about that. And I think we were in touch, and then we kind of coordinated in terms
Yes.
of meeting. So they kind of made it there. By the time they made it there, I made my way.
Yeah.
I picked them up and then I brought them home.
Yes. Charles, where were you at that day?
I was in D.C. I was working for the sheet metal workers as an industrial hygienist, and so at that time I was training workers on OSHA standards. So, matter of fact, I came back to New York a month later to train the construction workers who were, doing all the work. Of course, trying to find people. And it was interesting. I remember the EPA administrators said that they were going to do testing, and they did testing and said that the air quality was fine. And I said, "There's no way in the world air quality of 2 buildings that collapsed is going to be fine." And so we knew that was a lie. And, as a scientist, as someone that does that work, we knew that was a lie. And the sad part, we were trying to provide, safety measures for the workers who worked in the environment. And of course,
Many workers died of pulmonary disease after that,
to
right?
this day,
Yes.
I testified on the committee talking about that a few years ago because workers are still dying to this day from being exposed. Firefighters, police officers, construction workers, because of exposure to dust.
Would there have been asbestos in there too?
Oh, definitely. Because they were built. Those buildings were built before 1970. So yeah.
So any building built before 1970 would have asbestos.
Right.
The asbestos would be in the concrete?
Usually asbestos is used for soundproofing a lot of times. So yeah, a lot of times they put it on the concrete for prevent vibration, sound, and all that. So yeah,
So they mix it in.
they mix it in.
So when that pulverized and made dust,
Yeah,
and you
and it's
inhaled it.
glass, everything that's a part of the chemicals that makes up a building
Yeah.
is a part of that dust.
Yeah. So when you were at work that day on September 11th, when did you first know of the
I
attack?
heard on the radio
Okay.
driving to work. Matter of fact,
Did you turn back or?
no, because I was in D.C.
Okay. But DC got attacked too. I mean, the Pentagon got
right in
hit.
Virginia, right.
So did you like get put off that? I mean, were you sent home?
Just went to work and we kind of was assessing what we need to do because, like I said, we were connected with OSHA and doing a lot of training with OSHA, with occupational health. So we knew workers are going to be working in those environments. So we had meetings to talk about how we would coordinate, go in and help out workers being exposed, to those particular type of chemicals.
Okay. Well, Joseph, you're going to ask me about my experience. Why don't you hold
Yes.
this one? So
So where were you?
We were here in Maryland, and Andrews Air Force Base is like 10 minutes down the road from here.
Right.
So I had a family law case that morning, but before I left, the lawyer called and said the father's at Georgetown Hospital dying, so can I go she's staying with her father and tell the court that she needs a continuance. I said, no problem. So I went and dropped Samora to school. It was a beautiful day. I'll never forget that. Beautiful weather, cool and nice. And the weekend before, I'd been in Labor Day in Brooklyn, and I'd met Fitzroy St. Rose because Judy and I and a couple others, we were organizing the Dominica Diaspora Summit. And where were we supposed to be? At the World Trade Center Marriott. We had a contract for the World Trade Center Marriott, which got destroyed. And I'll never forget, Fitzroy said he's going to come. I gave him one of the flyers. And that's the last time I saw Fitzroy. Because Fitzroy was part of the group with Exodus, examples of Dominicans, with Judy and Georgie Karam, Irving Guy, and Paul Phillip, and Rob, all these guys, right? So anyway, so I got to court. The only place in the courthouse with the TV was in the family law section. So I saw the two towers, and I saw a little hole and some smoke. So it looked like it may have been a Cessna from where I stood and looked on the TV screen. But I felt that was strange. I didn't feel comfortable about that because it was a beautiful day, clear skies. I'm saying to myself, how does a plane make a mistake like that and go into a building when a clear day, no clouds, right? So I went in, I told the judge, Kathy Surratt, I told the judge, there's been an accident in New York, the World Trade Center. And she said, oh, I'm from New York, I'll go look. And we need a continuance, the lawyer's not coming. And I remember it was Cheer versus Pay. It was a lady from Sierra Leone, and her husband was from Senegal. And her sister was there, and we left out of the courtroom. And when we went back to the TV, I saw the second plane coming in, and we were all looking, unbelieving. Boom! And we saw the flame. I said, well, this is no accident, this is war. And I got out of there. I called my wife. I told her, honey, call the office and tell them to close, it's war. And I came up the area there, and I stopped at the corner. Our neighbor was on a rolling mower. I stopped. He turned the machine off because you couldn't hear my voice. And I said, Mr. Don, there's been an attack on New York. It's war. He jumped off the mower. I know. When I got home, I told Joan, I'm going to get Samora. And when I went to the school, a lot of parents were already coming to the school to take their children out. And I took her home. I brought her back here. I called my staff. I had a big case with the Postel family where a guy had been given the wrong medication by a major healthcare provider, but I'm under a confidential agreement. I can't say anything even now, but he died. And you know, the girl, when she came, the case man, she brought the file with her. She said, Mr. Christian, it's war. I don't want that file to be destroyed. We lose our case. And we settled that case for a good sum. And they were here. We closed the office. I was renting space to a guy called Mike Schrader. And he was doing a lot of business in real estate settlements. I said, I'm closing. I don't know about you. I suggest you should close too. And he said, no, Gabe, I don't think they're going to bomb Bowie. I'm going to stay open. By noon, all his staff cleared out too. They left him there. And it was a very frightening time. The planes were coming off the base hard and low and fast. And, you know, we were hearing booms, but that was the planes breaking the sound barrier. So people were thinking it was bombs going off. But it's really the sound barrier because the planes were all over D.C. flying, you know, because the plane coming over Shank Hill, Pennsylvania was heading to D.C. So they thought they were protecting D.C. from further attacks and stuff. It's a very frightening day, you know, and we never thought, you know, I don't ever want to see a day like that again.
Amen.
So I called my friend, you know, Ed Layton. Ed Layton and I've been clerks. He's, you know, he's ex-Marine, you know, from Philadelphia. I said, Ed, it's war. He says, yeah, it's war. I said, do you have any guns? He said, I don't think I have any. I think I have some guns. I said, let's go. I said, where are we going? You know, because we didn't know what was happening from where, you know, it was all a lot of confusion. It was all a lot of confusion and very, very frightening. And then, of course, you know, when it hit the Pentagon, Esther and I went down to the Pentagon. There were thousands of people. We sat on the hill just looking. The firefighters were fighting the fire. Amazing day, tragic day. And I hope we never see those days again.
Amen to that.
Thank you so much.